Welcome to this sacred space of reflection and spiritual alignment, where we gather to bridge the gap between the material world and the vast, invisible realms that surround us. Life often presents itself as a heavy burden, filled with unexplained anxieties, sudden shifts in mood, and a lingering sense of being watched or influenced by forces we cannot see. Today, we are not here merely to recite words, but to engage in a profound psychological and spiritual restructuring based on the timeless wisdom of Allan Kardec and the high messengers of light. We are mature travelers on this journey, understanding that existence is not limited to what we can touch, but is defined by the vibrations we emit and the company we keep in the spirit world. As you begin to settle into this moment, permit the frantic pace of your daily concerns to dissolve into the background, replacing them with a deliberate, rhythmic breath that anchors you to the present. We are calling upon the science of the soul, recognizing that prayer is the most powerful technology available to humanity, a direct link to the divine intelligence and our personal guardians. This introduction serves as your formal invitation to drop the masks of the ego and stand in your true spiritual identity, ready to receive a shielding of light that is both impenetrable and profoundly healing. To understand the power of communicating with your spiritual guide, one must first grasp the mechanics of thought as defined in the Spiritist philosophy. Thought is not a fleeting, invisible nothingness. It is a creative force that generates fluidic waves, shaping the atmosphere around the individual. When you direct your mind toward the higher spheres with sincere intent, you are essentially building a bridge of light made of high-frequency energy that allows your spiritual mentor to descend into your vibration. Allan Kardec taught us that the purity of the request is far more important than the complexity of the language used, for the spirits read the heart, not the lips. In this process, your aura, the electromagnetic field surrounding your body, undergoes a total recalibration, shifting from the dense vibrations of fear and material worry to the expansive, luminous state of faith. This vibrational shift is what makes prayer an active war room strategy for the soul. It clears the static that prevents the constant guidance of your protector from reaching your conscious mind. By establishing this bridge, you create a dedicated channel through which instructions, comfort, and vital energy can flow, ensuring that you are no longer a victim of circumstance, but a conscious collaborator with the universe. Every human being, regardless of their past or current struggles, is granted a celestial companion, a spirit of higher evolution who has accepted the mission of watching over their progress across multiple incarnations. This guardian is not a distant, mythical figure, but an advanced soul bound to you by ties of deep affection and spiritual responsibility, acting as a father, a teacher, and a protective shield. They do not intervene to remove every obstacle from your path, as the challenges of life are the necessary weights for the strengthening of your spiritual muscles, but they stand ready to provide the endurance and the clarity needed to overcome them. Allan Kardec emphasized that we are never truly alone, even in our darkest hours, for these messengers of light are constantly whispering intuitions and shielding us from the full impact of negative spiritual currents. When you call upon your guide, you are not bothering a busy entity. You are activating a sacred partnership that has been planned since before your birth into this physical form. Recognizing their presence requires a refinement of your internal senses, a learning to trust that sudden urge to take a different path, that unexpected feeling of peace during a crisis, or the flash of insight that solves a long-standing problem. A vital component of our growth is understanding that we live in a sea of spiritual influences, some helpful and some profoundly detrimental, often stemming from spirits who remain trapped in their own pain or resentment. These entities, whom we refer to as obsessors, do not operate through physical force but through the synchronization of vibrations, finding entrance into our lives when our thoughts align with their lower frequencies, such as anger, guilt, or addiction. Kardec provided the master key to resolving these influences. Obsession is not a battle to be won with aggression, but a dynamic to be cured through the elevation of the host's character and the redirection of the entity's perception. If you feel a constant oppression, a heaviness in your chest, or a cycle of negative thoughts that don't feel entirely your own, it is likely that a spirit in distress is echoing your vulnerabilities. By engaging in high vibrational prayer, you don't just drive them away, You fundamentally change the atmosphere of your soul so that they can no longer find comfort in your proximity. This process is educational for both parties, as the light you draw in during your dialogue with your guide becomes a mirror that shows the obsessor the futility of their current state, often leading to their own eventual awakening and liberation. The spiritual world is composed of semi-material fluids that are highly sensitive to the action of the will and the presence of high-level spirits, a concept central to the practical application of spiritual healing. When you place a cup of water beside you during a session of prayer, you are creating a receptacle for these vital fluids, which are manipulated by the invisible doctors of the soul to create a personalized medicine for your unique spiritual and physical needs. As the prayer reaches its peak, the emissaries of light saturate the water with magnetic properties that go beyond chemical composition, acting directly on your perispirit, the energetic link between your soul and your physical body. Upon consuming this water, the fluidic energy is distributed through your nervous system and your energetic centers, known as chakras, dissolving spiritual nodes and blockages that may manifest as physical exhaustion or illness. This is not superstition, but a high-level manipulation of universal matter directed by the superior intelligence of the spirits in response to your act of faith. By treating your environment with such respect, including keeping it clean and tranquil, you aid the spirits in their task of sterilizing the energetic pathogens that collect in modern homes, turning your living space into a true lighthouse of spiritual recovery. Forgiveness is perhaps the most difficult yet the most spiritually efficient act a mature soul can perform, as it represents the total severing of the chains that bind us to our persecutors and our past mistakes. Kardec taught that we often attract obsessors not out of bad luck, but because of past life entanglements where we were the cause of suffering, and those souls remain attached to us in a cycle of vengeance. When you enter a state of prayer and offer a sincere apology to those you have hurt, and extend a total pardon to those who have hurt you, you are engaging in spiritual alchemy that dissolves the energetic hooks, keeping you tethered to lower planes. This prayer acts as a solvent for the dark matter of the aura, replacing the heavy, gray vibrations of grudge with a luminous, expansive frequency that heals both the sender and the receiver. It is a profound act of self-love to release your enemies, for as long as you hate them, you are spiritually dragging their presence through your own mental garden, allowing their poison to infect your current life. By demanding of yourself the strength to forgive, you align your will with the universal law of love, making it impossible for lower spirits to maintain a grip on your life, as there is no longer a shared vibration of resentment to hold you together. In the practice of spiritual protection, the imagination is a powerful tool used to give form and direction to the semi-material energy of the soul, turning abstract faith into a functional shield. As you progress in your dialogue with your guide, visualize a torrent of brilliant golden light pouring down from the higher spheres, entering the crown of your head and filling your entire being with a warmth that pulsates with the rhythm of creation. This light represents the reflected glory of the Christ energy, a vibration so pure that no entity of shadow or ill intent can endure its touch, as it resonates with the fundamental truth of the universe. Imagine this light expanding outward until it forms a spherical shield, 3 feet in all directions, acting as a selective filter that allows only love and helpful intuitions to pass while causing negative influences to bounce harmlessly away. Within this golden armor, your nervous system is calmed, your heart rate regularizes, and your mind regains the clarity needed to observe your life from a perspective of wisdom rather than reaction. This visualization is an exercise in fluidic architecture, where you're consciously building a temporary sanctuary of high vibration matter that the spirits can utilize to defend your peace while you sleep or walk through the crowded spaces of the world. A mature understanding of Spiritism reveals that we do not have enemies in the eternal sense, but only brothers and sisters who are temporarily blind, lost in the shadows of their own choosing. When a spiritual obsessor is present, the highest form of warfare is not to attack them with mental violence, but to educate them through the radiance of your own spiritual evolution and the words of truth you emit during prayer. By inviting these spirits to listen to the messages of the gospel, by showing them that God is a merciful Father and that redemption is always a single choice away, you are acting as a missionary in the invisibilities. Kardec explained that the obsessor is often a prisoner of the same pain they inflict, trapped in a loop of the past. Your prayer breaks that loop by introducing a new, higher vibration that they cannot ignore. As they observe the peace you cultivate, as they feel the warmth of the healing spirits who come to your aid, their desire for vengeance begins to melt into a desire for peace, transforming a parasitic relationship into a catalyst for the salvation of a soul. This realization changes the entire dynamic of spiritual distress, shifting you from a state of victimhood to a state of spiritual authority, where you use your light to lead the wayward back to the path of light. Communication with your spiritual guide should not be treated as a desperate 911 call during a crisis, but as a continuous, background conversation that informs your every decision and maintains your energetic integrity. By establishing a daily routine of prayer and meditation, you create a thickening of your spiritual protection, making your aura so consistently bright that it naturally repels the density of modern life. Allan Kardec recommended that at the end of each day, one should review their actions in the presence of their guide, asking for clarity on where we failed and strength to do better, thus preventing the accumulation of spiritual dust or minor obsessions. This habit of self-vigilance ensures that your vibration stays calibrated to the higher planes, making you a reliable vessel for the spirits to transmit helpful ideas and synchronicities into the material world. When you live in this state of continuous communion, the distance between the human and the divine begins to vanish, and you realize that your guide is not a separate entity hovering above you, but an intimate partner in the unfolding of your destiny. This ongoing connection provides a deep sense of security, allowing you to walk through the world with a cold compassion, a serenity that observes chaos but is not moved by it, knowing that your internal peace is anchored in the eternal. The home is more than a physical structure. It is a repository of the energetic traces of everyone who enters it, often becoming saturated with the remnants of past arguments, stresses, and unseen spiritual visitors. Through the direct action of sincere prayer and the reading of elevating texts like the Gospel according to Spiritism, you perform a ritual of domestic purification that physically alters the molecular structure of the atmosphere within your walls. High-level spirits utilize these moments of devotion to install posts of spiritual succor in your living room, creating zones of high vibration where lower spirits cannot linger and where your own soul can find rapid rephasement. A home thus purified acts as a beacon in the spiritual world, signaling a place where the laws of love are respected, which in turn attracts even more powerful protectors to your service. You have the authority to command that your home be a place of light, but this command is not given with ego, but with the consistent maintenance of kind words, peaceful thoughts, and the frequent call for divine intervention. In this sanctuary, the water is always fresh with healing fluids, the sleep is always protected by guardians, and the air itself carries a subtle perfume of celestial peace that calms the heart of anyone who crosses your threshold. As you conclude your dialogue with the guides, the effects move from the subtle perispiritual layers into the physical body, manifesting as a sudden drop in blood pressure, a release of muscular tension, and a profound calming of the adrenal system. The spiritual doctors, acting under the command of your guide, work on the nervous plexuses and the endocrine glands, balancing hormones and clearing the toxic miasmas that are often the hidden precursors to physical disease. Psychologically, the feeling of heaviness is replaced by a clarity of purpose and a renewed sense of hope, as if a heavy fog has been lifted from your eyes, revealing the path ahead with undeniable certainty. This state of rephasement is a testament to the fact that the soul is the master of the body. When the soul finds peace through communication with the light, the body cannot help but follow in its footsteps toward health and balance. This physical response is the proof that the plano spiritual has heard you, confirming that you are realigned with the life force of the universe and ready to continue your journey with renewed vigor. As the vibrations of the prayer settle, the feeling of the spiritual embrace remains, a lingering sensation of being held in the arms of a vast, intelligent love that knows your name and supports your every noble endeavor. In this final moment of our journey together, let us acknowledge the profound transformation that has occurred in the silence of your soul and the space around you. We have traveled through the understanding of prayer, the reality of our guardians, and the powerful mechanisms of spiritual defense, all aimed at restoring your innate sovereignty as a child of God. The light that was invoked is not temporary. It is now a part of your spiritual architecture, a lingering flame that will continue to burn brightly long after these words stop. Carry this serenity into your interactions with the world, knowing that you are a mobile center of light, a lighthouse for those who are still stumbling in the dark. Your spiritual guide stands beside you now, not in shadow, but in a radiant presence of approval and love, ready to walk with you into the coming days. Trust in the protection you have requested, for it is sealed by the immutable laws of spiritual resonance and the infinite mercy of the Creator. Thus it is, and thus it shall be, as we remain forever united in the light, moving forward with courage, faith, and an unshakable peace.